record on this computer. Recording in progress. All right. So now that we're recording, I think that Ed, you know what to do. It's the Tommy Feldman happy hour, you guys. Woo. We did it. Woo. Friday. Another week. Up until last few weeks ago, I was saying, oh, it's now the end of the pandemic. We'll have to find new reasons to do Zoom. But now, thanks to the Delta variant, I guess we're still on. We're still doing it. We still got people that want to hear what's going on in the world, check in with us comedians and see what's going on. So welcome to the show. I see we have some people watching live. Welcome, welcome. We are taking comments live, as we always do. And so you're welcome to comment, make a joke, whatever. We'll read it out on the air and respond if possible. We've got for those of you who don't know, by the way, this is a talk show. We interview comedians, we find out what makes them tick, and we also do our own comedy here. We do a little bit of improv, we do a little bit of sketch, we do a little bit of news, we do everything. It's like a holistic program over here. So it's very exciting, and I'm glad to be with you all. Exciting. I am broadcasting now from the San Luis Obispo area. I used to be in the Bay Area, for those of you who don't know. We've got our own comedy scene here, but it is great to be with you guys. And you know, when we start our show, we always start off with a little bit of news of the world. So let's get right into that. Let us find out for you guys what is happening with the news of the world. And comedians, Chris and Kelly and Ann, if you want to make a comment on any of the things I've said, or if you just want to help me out, maybe I wasn't that funny when I did this, please feel free to chime in. That does happen. Sometimes you guys come in with the assist, and I appreciate that. All right, first story of the night. A guest wrote a scathing 1-star TripAdvisor review of a Marriott resort in Mexico after witnessing a crocodile drag a guest into the ocean, a fellow guest. Maybe you guys have heard about this on the Bay Area news. I think it was the talk of the Bay Area for a while. This reviewer praised the food and the staff at the Marriott Puerto Vallarta after describing how her traumatized friends had to save their fellow guest from a crocodile. She ended her review with what I thought was a very poignant expression. She said, "I will definitely not see you in a while, crocodile."
All right.
Has anybody ever come across a crocodile in Mexico?
No.
Not in Mexico.
I was kind of, well, I guess that's, I was thinking.
If the food was that good, I would think it should get at least 2 stars.
Yeah, right. Yeah. 2 stars for the food.
Yeah.
See you later, you mean old raider.
There you go. Thank you, Ed.
The crocodile must have been such a drag.
Must have been a drag. There we go. See, this is what I was looking for. Perfect. All right. The Democrats, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in their 2020 presidential primary, they had made their sort of tagline structural racism. That was their centerpiece, right? And now the Republicans are coming back and getting ready for 2024. And they're saying, okay, their thing is going to be America is not a racist country. That's going to be the Republicans' platform. And they're actually saying that this is their new mantra. They're using the word specifically. This is our mantra. Now, I find this to be ironic because I don't know if you guys know this. The word mantra it's not English. It's from India. It's Sanskrit. So, you know, GOP cultural appropriation, not a great way to start off your campaign. It reminds me of when Bush, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Bush, right after 9/11, he's like, we're going to go on a crusade to fight the war on terrorism. And everyone's like, well, the Crusades has a loaded meaning. All right. I don't know. Maybe, you know, hey, look, I like words. I like the origins of words. Am I the only one? Maybe. I don't know.
So Tommy, would you call this mantra-splaining?
Mantra-splaining. There we go. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes, mantra-splaining by me. All right. Last Friday, 3 autonomous worker robots set fire to their warehouse when they crashed into each other and blew up. The unfortunate glitch threw everything out of whack at the London warehouse. of this UK grocery store called Ocado. I think it's the name of it. And the workers were not happy about this. It caused delays. And some of the workers, they even took it as a chance to poke fun at robots in the workplace, saying, I guess that's the end of Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
I like how we call that two robots fighting and not the nerds who made the robots rebelling.
Right.
Just rebelling. Yeah.
I was gonna say, this is what happens when worker robots don't unionize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They should unionize too.
I think it was a workplace relationship gone bad that they just ended up going at each other.
I think you're right. Who knows? Maybe they are already all. They just haven't told us they are unionized.
They wouldn't if they did. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Their AI has already united them under a secret network called, what was that? Skynet 1? What was it called in Terminator? Skynet?
Yeah.
Guys, the real Skynet. All right. Car enthusiastic blog Jalopnik, which I read occasionally, recently put together a list of the goofiest race car driver names of all time. And these are actual real drivers. You've got Dick Trickle. That was an actual driver. Will Power was the name of an actual driver from like the UK or something. And from Italy, there was an Antonio Falco. Now, they seem to have missed this guy here, who I've nicknamed. I'm going to call him Kenny 5G. Kenny 5G. That's Kenny 5G.
Nice.
Last but not least, the world's biggest coffee producer, Brazil, saw a large portion of its coffee crop get damaged by frost this year, which sent coffee futures soaring to their highest point in nearly a decade. Now, normally, I am not a fan of high prices for commodities or anything else for that matter, but for coffee, suffering from frost, I'll make an exception because it finally gives me the reason to say, cool beans. And that is
I thought Colombia was, yeah, you're welcome. I thought Colombia was responsible for getting things high.
Yeah. And I saw your joke on Comedy Wire as well, by the way. And yes, these are all jokes from Comedy Wire.
Well, they're prompts from Comedy.
They're prompts from Comedy Wire. Yes, that's how Ed and myself and a couple other people we write jokes for ourselves. If you are a comedian watching the show, highly recommended Comedy Wire. And that was, give it up for me, you guys, for bringing in the jokes. It is it's always fun to do that. And let us bring up our first guest of the evening. Let's see if I can find, okay, and Ann. Now, Ann, I saw your script, so I saw your video, so I'm going to try to pronounce your name. Ann Chunharakchote.
No.
Dang it. All right. How do you pronounce it?
It's better than Ann Chipotle, which I've gone. I guess I'm Mexican now. Okay. No, it's Ann Chunharakchote, but I go by Ann Chun. Sometimes.
Okay.
Make things simple. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, Ann. So nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you. And I will just briefly introduce you, but what I really want to do is for you to introduce yourselves. Ann and I have performed together in the Bay Area when Ann was based here. And I know that you were based here in San Francisco and you've been doing comedy a couple of years. And then at some point you moved to New York, but that's kind of all I really know of your background. So let's start with, why don't you tell us about your comedy background, especially, most importantly, what got you into comedy, Ann?
Yeah, hi everybody. I've been doing comedy for a couple of years now. I started in San Francisco, so definitely could relate to what people were talking about prior to the show started, like OMG, like the grimy scene in San Francisco. And I moved to New York at the end of 2019. So perfect time.
Yeah, perfect time.
The city that never sleeps. It's like, is this a city that never sleeps, or is it like a zombie apocalypse town?
Right.
I know New York is back. It never died. I started doing comedy. Well, here's the thing. I started watching comedy from a very young age. I grew up in Thailand. That's where my family's from. That's where I was born and raised. And oops, sorry, my light just fell off. There's this one Thai comedian who's very famous, and he's kind of like the Seinfeld of Thailand.
Okay.
And I just, I would just be so happy every time we see him on TV. Then fast forward years later, I saw Ali Wong special, and I fell in love with it. A lot of the things she was saying like overlap with the nasty, crazy stuff that goes in my head.
Right.
So it's like the classic, oh, I saw someone who looks like me doing things I want to do.
Yeah.
So I bought a book about how to write jokes and then made a commitment to go to my first open mic later that year. Yeah.
Now, the move to New York, was it for comedy, or it was your day job had coincidentally moved you there, or?
Yeah, I made my day job move me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it worked out perfectly, and I actually just moved to New York because I love the city, and I was pretty fed up with San Francisco. I had been living there for some time, and I always knew I wanted to move to New York, and it was time. I think if I was really optimizing for my comedy career, I think staying in San Francisco a bit longer would have been good because the New York scene is so big.
Right.
But no regrets. It in the end, it's just a matter of like how much time and effort are you putting into your comedy career. Yeah.
You're not the only one. I mean, we had Joe Gorman on here. I don't know. You might know him from Zoom and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
He's he started in San Francisco and then moved to New York, and now he really loves it. But not every, it is like you just said, New York is just so many venues and so many
Exactly.
places. Are you in Manhattan, or are you in Brooklyn, or? I'm
in Brooklyn, Williamsburg.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So you can go into Manhattan very easily.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right. And now San Francisco, one thing I wanted to just explore a little bit further, you talked about you were getting tired of San Francisco. And as you know, I just recently moved from the Bay Area to the Central Coast. And so I've got my own sort of pet issues with San Francisco Bay Area. But what kind of prompted you to want to leave?
I think the monoculture, if you will, and the just walking around, it doesn't really inspire great feelings for me.
Right.
I can't say that for other people.
Sure.
Just like walking around from open mic to open mic or show to show in San Francisco around Soma, like it just makes me sad. And so that was it. And like I know New York has a lot of culture and just I know so many great comedians. Like I produce shows, right? And I book people who've been on Netflix and Comedy Central. And just I can just hop on go to a show at the Stand and just see Ronnie Chang. Yeah. Like I just be surrounded by the greats. And that's just so awesome. I love that. Yeah. Yes. And it's harder to see, get that in San Francisco.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. Now, Ann, you did send in a clip of your comedy. I've seen you perform. You're very funny, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to show everybody. So you sent in a clip I'd like to play, which kind of gives everybody a sense of your comedy, if I could find it. Let me see here. Where is it? Here it is. So this is Ann Chun Comedy, Joy Luck Comedy. Can you give us a little bit of background before I play this?
Give a background on the show.
Where is it and what? So this was December 2020.
September 2020. So New York, COVID was still rampant. So I had a friend from college who I reconnected with who owns an apartment in Harlem and has a backyard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, my co-producer and I at the time, we dug up all the roots and cleared out his backyard. We were like his gardener. I was like, I'll let you do the show if you just clean up my backyard. I'm like, okay,
perfect.
It's just so not my cup of tea, but I'll do it. Yeah, and so it was in someone's backyard, and it was sold out. Great show.
Nice. All right, great setup. All right, so let's play a couple minutes of your set here. And here we go.
Let's see. What else? I am actually really happy y'all are here. I'm actually flying to my motherland soon. Yeah. I'm sorry I can't take y'all with me. Yeah, I'm actually a dual citizen too. I used to dream of having the U.S. passport because you can go wherever the fuck you want to go. But now, the tables have turned. I'm so glad I didn't surrender my Thai passport. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. I'll be back on November 3rd. There's one little thing I want to do on that date on the soil. Are you guys excited for the elections? No. Like, let's not talk about politics. Well, goddammit, I want to talk about a little bit, just a little bit, okay? Yeah, I'm excited about it. It'll be my first time voting ever. Like, I don't know, you guys probably don't know this, but Thailand is run by the military. Yeah, our food is so good, you like totally forgot. Yeah, so I'm sorry I brought the dictatorship energy to this country, but it's my fault. Yeah, hearing about the news about like the elections and voter suppression, how they describe it, I'm just like, why do you people call it voter suppression? Where I'm from, we just call it voting. All right, that's it my time. Give up for your host.
That was great. That was great, Ann. Guys,
Thank you.
Aw.
Sorry, it's my dog. My light kept on falling off because he kept on biting something underneath the desk, so it kept on knocking off the light. So he just wants to be cuddled.
I just became a dad as well to a kitty. He's not here right now, but probably I'll be doing the same thing pretty shortly. So yes, puppies welcome on the show. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to, as I do with all the comedians, to kind of promote their career, whatever they've got going on. So tell us how people can follow you and if they've got some shows going on and whatever else you want to plug on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So my Instagram is Ann Chunharakchote.
Okay.
Same Twitter handle, same TikTok as well, but I mostly use Instagram. And if you're in New York, I produce shows, Double Threat Comedy. So you can look that up on Instagram. And also we have a website, doublethreatcomedy.com. We do shows multiple times a week in different venues all over Manhattan, Brooklyn, including like the Knitting Factory, which is like an awesome 100-person capacity venue. And we've had Gary Goldman on our show, which was amazing.
Gary Goldman, wow, the Gary.
Yeah.
Goldman.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so, come by.
Well, that's perfect, and thank you so much. And because we do have comedians on the show all the time that say want to know more about New York, and so this is great that you're producing shows there. Guys, give it up for Ann Chun for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing. I think it's great. And don't go anywhere. You're going to be part of the quiz later on. And so let us move on to our improv session, if I could figure out how to do that. So we do on our show, I know it may seem hard to do, but we managed to do improv here on the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Ed Ruben is our head improv team leader, I suppose. So let me add Ed here. Ed, you want to just explain to people what it is that we do on the show?
Oh, sure. You know how in improv they say never ask questions? Well, we turn that on our head and we play a game called Questions Only. So everything you say has to be in the form of a question. And when it's not, then Tommy, who is our main head judge, will ring his magic bell and that will be over. It'll be over for that time. But we usually get in about 2 or 3 and anybody's welcome to join. And we also have a prompt. So you get to select what type of word or situation you'd like to start with. So Tommy, do you have the magic?
I do. Well, Ed, do you want to start off with either Niko or Eric as to just kind of give the guests an idea? And
then sure. Which one of you guys wants to do it?
Eric, Niko, which you guys want to do a little improv?
I'll go. Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Why
I'm like Eric, say something.
So Ann and Kelly and Ann and Kelly and Chris, just this is what we're going to be doing, and then for the second and third round, if you guys want to join, you can just hop in, and then we'll make you part of the show for that as well. All right, so let's go to our random word generator. If I can figure out how to get out. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's start with what, a location maybe?
What are you on, Eric?
Yeah, location.
All right. So today's location is reception desk. Very interesting. All right, Ed and Eric, take it away at the reception desk.
So, sir, how tall are you really?
Why are you picking on short guys like me?
Did you bring your ID with you this time?
Don't I always have my ID with me?
Isn't the doctor at lunch around this time? Why do you always come at this time?
You're just assuming that I want to see the doctor, aren't you?
What is this, an interrogation of me now?
All right.
Would you like that?
That was
Was that not a question? That was a question,
that was
right?
no, it wasn't. No, that was not for you, Eric. That was for Ed. Ed kind of.
That was a long way to get to the.
Yeah, that was because he.
I tried to sneak it through, you know.
Yeah, no, that was not a true question. All right, so that's how the way it works, you guys. So, Ann, Kelly, anybody else, you guys want to try it or?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I heard it. Chris wants to try. Anybody else? Ann and Kelly? All right, so
Yeah,
you're down, Ann? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do, let's try, put out, remove, and then let's try Chris and Ann to start for the second round. All right, you guys, Chris and Ann, we're gonna go back to the random word generator. And would you guys like a location-ship, relationship, or word?
That's the relationship one sounds interesting.
Okay, let's try it. A zookeeper and a parrot.
Oh.
Like we got that before.
Wow. Do you want more food?
What is the food?
Seeds and nuts and good stuff for parrot. Oh wait.
It's hard.
That's my bad. Yeah. I was just like, first thing. No, it has to be a question. Okay.
So Kelly, so I'll swap in Kelly here, and Kelly and Ann will do its round. Let's go back to our random generator here. Kelly and Ann, you're gonna do, what would you like to do? A location, a relationship, or a word?
Let's go with word.
Okay. Download. Okay. Take it away, guys. Download.
Do you work here?
Why are you asking me that?
Does this computer look like it's working?
Why do you think I work here?
Where do I download?
Is this some sort of racist thing?
Do you know how to download?
Do you know how to download?
Can I see your manager?
Yeah.
Why do you still think I work here?
Do you come here often?
Does my mom come here often?
Does your mom know how to download?
I'm not sure if.
Excellent. All right.
Start with the question.
That's one of the longer, one of the ones we've seen. So pretty good job on you guys for that.
Okay.
All right. Well, nice job, everyone. And it's always good to see the people trying out and doing well with the improv. And let us find Chris, if I could find Chris. Here we go. Let me spotlight Chris and myself. All right, guys, give it up for Chris Ferdinandson for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you.
All right, and one of the, yet again, comedians that I've actually met in real life. Yes, we, I think we performed at the comedy, what was it called? Comedy
Machine?
Comedy Machine, yeah. Where I was so illustriously booted out right away after the first first round.
That's a tough show, man. I hate the competition shows because even if you do good, sometimes you don't get past and you feel bad about it. But it's a great room regardless. It's always really fun, you know.
For a moment. But you were You were cool. Well, you know what was good about you is that you, well, first of all, you were like cool about, you were friendly, you know, not all the, not to disparage the other comics your age in the Bay Area, but a lot of them just like don't want to know me, you know. So, but you were cool. You were nice.
They're like that with me too. So don't worry about that. Right? Yeah.
You were friendly, and then you were like, hey, don't worry. These the competitions are really crazy, and you were helpful in explaining to me the process. But yeah, and I remember our conversation pretty well. You had talked about how you were up in Santa Rosa, and then you had a podcast. But you know what? Let me give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. I know you've been doing comedy a while. Tell us about your comedy career. What got you into comedy? And yeah, just your background will be fine.
Okay. Well, I started when I was 17. I was getting out of high school, and a lot of my friends are going to college, and that wasn't in the cards for me. So I was feeling like I had no purpose, or no, I had nothing, cool that I was doing. So then I started doing open mics and at just a music open mic here in Sebastopol, California. Mm-hmm. And for a year, that's what I did. I did that one mic for a year, and just, it was all I thought about all the time. And then after a couple months, I got like my first laugh. It took a long time.
Right.
It took like multiple sets to even get my first laugh. And then I started to build off that and feel a lot better from that. So I've just kind of grown up doing it over the past 8 years or so, because I'm 26 now. So it's kind of flown by. I've done some cool things. And I'm proud of it. I was thinking the other day about how cool it was that I was obsessed with Chris Rock when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom had Chris Rock on our Apple Music. And when I was on the bus ride to middle school and back, I would just play this Chris Rock album over and over again, Never Scared, as well as Bigger and Blacker. And I learned about the world through through those specials. I learned about the whole Bill Clinton thing. I learned about OJ a little bit. I learned about like some crazy things that were way over my head at that time.
Sure.
But I just loved how funny he was, and how meaningful everything he said was too at the same time. I thought it was so cool. So I think it started there, and then I remember somebody showed me Dane Cook, and I was like, this is a way different sort of thing. Mm-hmm. This is cool too. And then someone showed me Bo Burnham, and I'm like, this is different too. I could do something like this. So then when I was looking for some sort of purpose, I think open mics just kind of like, and a couple of times when I was talking to people when I was younger, they'd say, you could do stand up. Mm-hmm. So I gave it a try, and it's been going, I would never do anything different. I love it.
Now I remember when in our conversation, you were telling me that like you started out the open mics, but like you quickly started doing the shows. And I think you've been doing a lot of productions, if I'm not mistaken, like over the years.
Over the years it's been quite a bit. I'm not like producing a bunch of stuff right now. I have like one show and one open mic, and those are brand new, and I have a podcast that comes out every week, and that's nice. But at the same time, I did do a lot though. I did start a show in Sebastopol back in 2015, 16. I ran a show in Santa Rosa for a year or two as well. So I've kind of been in that, but I'm much more of a comic than a producer. Producing's hard. Producing is a hard job.
I know you didn't send in a clip, but I did want to show everybody your podcast, Like an Adult. I did listen to some episodes, but maybe you could tell me a little bit more about it and explain.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, well, if you're looking for a running theme of the podcast, it doesn't exist. There's no if you're looking for something continuous that always is there, which maybe we could be better at. But we've been doing it for 3 years, me and Mike, and we started with another podcast called Three Cute Boys with another comic, and then we ended up toning it down to just me and him, and doing this Like an Adult thing for the past like 2.5 years. And it's been really fun. We just like this episode, Better Call Saul, is Saul Trujillo from Los Angeles, also a Bay Area, also a Bay Area comedian. We have Chris Riggins on here. We have like all your favorite Bay Area comics on this podcast. And it's just mostly interviews and then a lot of riffing. We like to riff a lot. And Yeah. We have Cody Smith on all the time from the North Bay. We have Josh Argyle on all the time. We have our friends on the most, because that's just how the podcast work the most, just work the best if you have real relationships with the people you're talking to.
I want to say that I think it's that like when I first started comedy, several years ago, that was one of the things that I was looking for, is a podcast where comedians would sort of talk about the industry, like especially in the Bay Area. I was looking for something where comedians would get interviewed, and that I think that's very good about what you're doing here is you're interviewing other Bay Area comics. I know you for one time you had John Gabb on, which
yeah. That was a fun episode. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he's on the show too, and our show as well. But for those of you who don't know, he's just a very interesting character. And then when you told me, like, I didn't know that he lived in Danville, which was like a big surprise. It's like
you should have seen, and I think we mentioned on the cast, but you should have seen that damn house he was in, dude. It was crazy. I was like, John Gabb, what are you? What'd you get hit by a Walmart truck? What happened, dude? What is this mansion, dude?
It was
crazy.
Yeah, and that's great that you have like a lot of local comics on. And now, what are you? Now, I think I did a little. I looked into your YouTube channel, and I did see a sketch you had done. You don't do sketches anymore, or?
Well, whenever they're offered, I'll do them. But when I was starting out, there was an improv group around here that liked to, and I did improv too. So I did improv shows for a little bit around here, which helped my stand up a lot because I can just go off the cuff. I feel like if I want to. More often than comics who don't have any improv background or something like. And I know I showed it in that questions game.
Yeah. Tell us what. So now, catch us up to speed with like over the last year or so with the pandemic and everything. Like, so what have you been doing lately? You said you might be producing again. What's your?
Yeah, I have a show now at Iron Ox Brewing. Me and this local comic, Mitch Norton, are producing a show together. That's also doing an open mic, and they're both on Saturdays, which is great for an open mic too. So we have a local Saturday open mic here in Santa Rosa now at Iron Ox Brewing, and then on the 28th, we're going to do our first showcase there as well. We have Jesse headlining and Gabby Puccia on the show, and a good comic from SAC, Robert Emoto, as well. And my co-host Mike Nordstrom opening it up, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good show. It's a cheap ticket too. It's like $12, and it comes with your first beer, so that's nice.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
What about if for obviously they can subscribe to your podcast? Is there any other way that people can follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Chris_Faux Show, FOSHO.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of stuff recently. I'm actually doing my first music show in a little bit, so I'm excited for that. I'm doing some musical comedy stuff, so I've been doing that for a long time too. I
didn't know you did musical comedy. That'd be great to see. So maybe you can send that if you have a clip of that, or if you have anything, let us see that, and we can put it on the group page and stuff.
Okay, cool. I think there is a clip on YouTube actually of me playing guitar at Redwood Cafe.
Send it over.
I'll send it over. Cool.
Guys, give it up for Chris Ferdinandson for coming on the show.
Yay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Perfect. So stick around, Chris. You'll be part of the quiz show later on.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Now it's at this point in the show when I pause for a moment to give thanks. Because this is hard to do every week, and we need to get sponsors, you guys. We need to go out there and we need to get people to pay, to make this show happen. And there's only one person, that can make it happen, and he's here, you guys. It's Eric Newton, you guys. Give it up for Eric Newton, our business manager, with the new sponsors of the week. What's going on?
Hey, how's everybody doing, man? I feel like I haven't been here for a long time. I almost forgot how this works, but dude, it's so good to be here again. It's Friday. Loving it. So I'll just jump right into it. Okay, so I'm Eric Newton. I do the sponsorships here at the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. And whenever a company approaches us about a possible sponsorship, I always take it under a lot of consideration. I give it a lot of thought, because in the end, regardless of the money, you always want to work with someone that's on the same page as you, someone that shares your same sensible morals in the world. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to a sponsorship. So this week, when I was approached by 1-800 Cars for Kids, right? Naturally, I had questions. You know what I'm saying? I had questions right away. Like, first and foremost, I was like, okay, I noticed you spell cars with a K. There's kids with the K. I was like, that's already 2 Ks off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to ask them. I was like, do you guys spell company with a K? Because Because if you do, we can't work with you. Like you have a max of 2Ks for your acronym. That's just been a long-term policy here at the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Like, if you want to work with us, your acronym has to be less than 2Ks. Like 3Ks, we can't have Tommy Feldman, the face of the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, next to something that says KKK. We just can't do it. But after all of that, fortunately, that was not the case here. Actually, I was luckily we could still move forward, but I still had another concern. I was like, you know what? But still, I'm not sure how comfortable I am with kids driving cars. Right? Like I don't know if it's a good idea. And like, look at these kids. They look sweet, innocent, but they're obviously on their way to band practice. Right? I used to play drums in a punk band. I know what happens at band practice, and you don't want kids driving cars after that. Trust me, it's not going to be good. But anyway, let me wrap this up. Long story short, I talked to the rep a little bit more, and we come to the agreement that, you know what, marijuana is legal, and most kids they're not old enough to buy alcohol, so they're probably fine behind the wheel. All right, they can probably drive safer than most adults on the road right now. So hey, I'm proud to bring you guys this week's Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, brought to you by 1-800 Cars for Kids. However, I still hate that stupid song. That song is so dumb. but hey, that's all I got for us this week. Tune in next week for a new sponsor, everybody.
All right.
Nice,
Give it up for Eric.
nice.
That is a very white background.
It is, right? Yeah.
And our latest sponsor, Cars for Kids. That's right.
It's like they're in an empty dimension.
They're in some kind of void.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us keep the ball rolling. And I see we have a very special guest all the way from Toronto, you guys. And let me find if I can find her here. Add her to the spot. Guys, all the way from Toronto, Kelly Zemnickis, you guys.
Right.
Yeah, Kelly,
Yeah.
on the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. We're so happy to have you here. I've seen you on the Zooms, and I feel, it's odd because I don't go to Toronto that often. I mean, maybe a couple times in the last couple of decades for business and things here and there. But for some reason, because of you and other Toronto comedians, I feel like so much closer to the Canadian comedy scene. So I always like to have Canadians on the show. And Kelly, you're more than welcome to be here, and it's great to have you. But now I don't know much about your comedy background, so I want to give you an opportunity first to tell us about yourself, especially what got you into comedy.
Oh, for sure. So I actually got my start in improv comedy back when I was 16 years old. As a technician, I worked at comedy clubs here in Toronto.
Oh,
In the 90s, like, Kids in the Hall and sketch and improv was
yeah.
really big here. And so I worked at various clubs in and around the city, running the lights, running the sound. Eventually, like stand-ups asked me to set up for their shows. So I was really immersed in improv for a very, very, very long time. And when I was 37, that is when I did my very first open mic. So it took me about 20 years to get on the stage. And I've got more of an unusual reason for getting into stand-up. I lost the love of my life to cancer, and what ended up being our final conversation gave me this push to do all the things because you can do them. And a week later, I did my first mic. He never got to see me do it, but I'm so grateful to him that he gave me that gift. So,
but I would assume that you were always funny, probably, and so, that's
one would hope.
Yeah, so I'm sure you were developing your comedy all along.
Definitely,
now, I know you were heavily doing Zooms because I remember seeing you on shows there, but have you started going into live comedy back again in Canada?
Yeah, I'm actually just 2 hours ago got back from Montreal, where I did my first club shows in a year and a half.
Wow.
We don't have it was awesome. There were 2 sold out shows. I was at the Comedy Nest, which is just my favorite spot to go play, and a restaurant show I did. But we don't have that luxury yet in Toronto. We were hit very, very hard and got very slow to the take of getting back at it. So I've been doing more park shows here, more outdoor
park shows
here.
Okay.
Yeah. So my world is a mix of like doing shows in a park and doing shows here on my couch.
Yeah,
It's all very different. But I've loved this whole Zoom thing because it's kept me writing and connecting with people, and I'm very grateful to it. Niko started. Thank you, sir. So,
Well, that's what we're seeing, and Niko Lukoff is on here. He's probably going to talk a little bit about the continuing sort of tug of war between Zoom and live. But yeah, no, I think it's great that you're doing both. And now I've heard about the Toronto comedy scene, but I don't know much about Montreal. So it sounds like it's worth the 2-hour drive down there to.
Oh my gosh, Montreal's fantastic. For a city that is probably more heavily French speaking than English. It has a phenomenal English comedy scene, Anglo comedy scene. It is wonderful. There are such fantastic shows being run there by guys like Ben Cardilli or the gang at the Comedy Nest. It is so worth checking out. And I believe as of August 9th, Americans can come back here as long as you're a double pack. So.
All right. We're welcome. So we're welcome in Canada. Okay, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So far, fingers crossed.
Kelly, you did send us a video which I wanted to share with everybody so they could see more about your comedy. So let me find that for everybody. So why don't you set this up for us? This is the Breakout Room auditions. What is this?
Yeah, so the Breakout Room was started by a fantastic Toronto comic named Alice Rose. And she's basically trying to find Canada's next comedic star.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to have an audition with them a few weeks back. And yeah, this is the first little bit is my set, and then the rest is like the judge's critique. So we don't have to
well, let's play a few minutes of that let's play your set, and here we go, Kelly Zemnickis on the Breakout Room.
Hey everyone! Hey, thanks so much, Ray. Much like yourself, I too have had concussions. I'm not sex injury related though, and I feel kind of I'm jealous. That's how you got yours. So yeah, my name is Kelly Zemnickis, and today it's been a great day. I had a big breakthrough in therapy. I'm feeling super good about it. I've been doing therapy for about 6 months now. So I started during the pandemic. And today my therapist said to me for the first time, Kelly, that will be great for your set. And really good, you know. I did not think that I would unlock this level of achievement so quickly. So I'm pretty stoked. It's nice, you know, it's nice that my therapist feels comfortable enough to start giving me tags. So that's feels all right, you know. But, life's gone good, you know. I found love during the pandemic, which is really insane. I met my boyfriend in a Zoom meeting of all places. Yeah. I feel like in 5 years from now, this is going to sound like a super old-timey way to have met someone. It's going to be really quaint. But yeah, we met in a Zoom meeting. He lives in California. So for the past 6 months, we have been dating on Zoom. That's how we have been having our dates. So if I were to describe my boyfriend to you, I could say he's 1080 pixels. And his being in America, he gets to say that his girlfriend lives in Canada. So we both sound like we're lying, basically. Good thing. Speaking of relationships, I just want to give a quick shout out to my neighbors next door who have been gracious enough every night to remind me of what it sounds like to have sex. Yeah, again, boyfriend's in California, so it's been pretty dry on this side of the wall, you know. But the moaning, it's nice to fall asleep to. You know, it drowns out my fears. But I'll just leave you guys with this. I'm still processing how crazy 2020 was, you know, because like every month felt like a year last year. We didn't have the month of November. We had the year of November, that kind of shit. I started off 2020. I was 41 years old and I ended the year 53. Anyhow, I've been Kelly Zemnickis. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
Kelly, that was really good.
Huzzah.
Yeah, I agree with you. The 2020 took
It was a
forever.
lot. Yeah, it
And
was a lot.
now with the 2021, thanks to this what's going on with this new variants, deltas and stuff like that, I feel like we're going back again, Groundhog Day or something.
I know. And this year I got diagnosed with shingles.
Ooh, that's
experienced
painful.
Shingles.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah.
Frig. Yeah, I
Dark.
feel like it's like a name, like the name generator at the start. It's just like pulling.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I actually had shingles when I was younger. It was rough. It hurts a lot.
It really does, and I
Yeah.
have it on my face.
Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's where my wife got it.
Ouch.
I thought I'd been bitten by something, and I was like, I'm gonna go to my doctor just in case. She's like, it's a good thing you did because you could have gone blind. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
Wow.
oh, I'm loving 2021. It's great.
Kelly, so now tell us a little bit how we can, if we promote what we can promote for you. If you've got shows coming up, if you want to promote your social media, whatever it is you'd like to plug.
Certainly. Well, I've got a YouTube channel, which is my name, Kelly Zemnickis. So you can go on there. I host a baking show called It'll Be Fine, a baking show. And
Nice.
I bake with folks all over the world and here in Toronto, and that's really awesome and fun to do. Live shows, I do have live shows coming. So my Facebook page is, again, my name, Kelly Zemnickis. I can't say where they are because live shows are happening here in Toronto, but there's a lot of private locations.
Okay.
Because there are people's backyards and stuff. So
Right.
go to my Facebook page and direct message me, Kelly Zemnickis. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we're happy to promote all that on our show and on our webpage. Guys, give it up for Kelly Zemnickis for coming. This is a great show, and I'm going to check out your baking show because that's a hobby of mine as well. In my family, we love doing baking. So
you should come on the show.
Yeah. All right. So let's now we don't really like drama. Tommy Feldman happy. We try to keep things, I don't know, copacetic might be the word. But, occasionally we do like to spice things up a little bit. And we've been talking with Niko Lukoff, who happens to be here today, about the part about drama with the the comedy community. And we've been avoiding it up until now, but I think Niko, is ready to therapeutically kind of get off his chest all the drama happening in Displaced Comedians, which for those of you that are watching and our guests here, it's probably the biggest national group of comedians on Facebook.
Okay.
So, Niko, what's going on, man? Talk to us.
International, Tommy, but yeah.
International. Sorry, I stand corrected.
Kelly's on it. No, people. I don't know what you're talking about. No. So like about a year, and I can talk forever. So you need to tell me when to shut up. So about a year ago, like another group kind of spurred from just kind of drawing from the group that I started and doing shows and stuff, which is totally cool. There's like no competition thing here because like I'm not competing with anything. We're just hanging out doing Zooms. But some stuff kind of came up that was a little questionable. It was weird. They're like kind of guilting people into like buying merch and some weird free thing everyone was into, and I wasn't cool with that because these are people. A lot of people didn't have any money. This is a weird thing. Just some weird stuff. I didn't feel like it was enough to be like, hey, you can't be here anymore in this group because I was like, people just do what they do. But just kind of, other weird stuff had gone on, and I ended up, actually going on some of my shows because they were fun, and then just at one point. I ended up, I'm not sure, there's actually just a handful of different events. So basically there's a bunch of people who are doing these Zoom shows and stuff, which is cool. But the person who runs and the entity of that was just doing mean stuff to people, going on shows, actually targeted me on one and heckled, KO Comedy, Samuel Obeid's thing. I worked my way up till I get to host and MC, and I was really excited. And they actually went on and just purposely were just messing up the show.
Sure.
And stats, and then they're doing this to other people too. And I made a post about some things that they were lying about. I put them on post approval, and someone was lying about stuff, and then they were just sending me these vicious things. And then I was made a post like, hey, I'm considering not having this group a part of our group. Like, if you want to be a part of that, go do your thing, but I'm not going to allow this to be the place that comes from. And then I got a bunch of messages from people that were like giving me really like horse or like way worse than I just said, like really cruel, mean stuff, that just mean-spirited things that were just like, whoa, like this is not something I want to support. I was like, look, if you run a mic, nothing against you run a mic, but if you're in this entity, you got to tell me. If you want to separate from that entity, let me know your mic information. Because if those of you don't know, for the comics here that are doing a lot of Zooms, the whole thing on this place is I have a spreadsheet that I've put a lot of energy into assembling and interrogating hosts to get all this information to just help direct people to do Zooms. And I was like, if you're on that, you're not going to be there anymore if you're in that group. And then when I did, I got a ton more messages of like really bad stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, kind of reinforced my decision. And then I did that. And I was like, all right, y'all are, you're not as you as people necessarily, but just that entity's just gone. You're not promoting those things in this group. And then I got a message recently from a new comic who said, hey, this person with a different name, which I look close to, is the same picture. I don't look at everyone's profile picture of my thing, and they're turned sideways, a weird thing, was actually like messaging people like, hey, come do my Zoom. And it was their Zooms. Yeah. And then they recruit them into their thing, and they charge money for tape, and people do different business, but the business stuff I thought was a little, but that's not even like the main thing. It was just this weird thing, like sucking people away and then manipulating them, doing things that I just wasn't, I don't want my thing I made to be used for that.
Right.
That's the predatory behavior I'm just not interested in. And then I got even screenshots of somebody saying they have like plants in the group, like other people to
plants.
Like they use the term plants in screenshots to like take people who like join the group who are new, who maybe haven't seen those other posts, and like, hey, join my thing or come and do my thing. And one of the people told me about this because they joined and they had a nice time, and then they did a little research on the page and like, oh, this is that person who's doing that thing. So it's not like I have plans or eyes or anything, but I definitely have people I know who are comfortable sharing information with me. I'm like, whoa, this has got to stop. So I shared some of those details in my group, and I'm trying to minimize that. But I also want to come off as that guy who's like, don't go over there because that's too. It's not like, because then I just sound like some idiot who's like, oh, don't do that. And that kind of gives that power, like, oh, that's cool and interesting. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to minimize people getting hurt. And I've seen it happen. And do that even more, just more messages of supporting people. So it's going to happen. I'm honestly surprised not weirder stuff has happened because there's been other issues and stuff. But yeah, we're about 9,000 strong. And going on a positive note, a lot of people are joining the group, but I have a little question like, why do you want to be here? And a lot of them, people are saying there are comedians that didn't even Zoom. They're just live comedians. They're like, the world's opening up. It's showing up on their feed. And they're like, this is a way to connect. And everyone's got their regional groups anyway. And this might annoy some people that are mostly doing Zooms, but I kind of like it when someone's like, hey, they're posting, hey, there's a show on a rooftop if you want a spot in New York. And I'm like, oh, well, how's that pertinent? Well, there's a handful of people commenting on that. And yeah, there's New York groups, but still, it's become this hub of stuff. And still the Zoom mics and online stuff still on there. And I've actually been doing more the online stuff. Last time I was talking about how I've been doing so much less this week. I didn't travel for work. There are a couple of reasons why it didn't work out as much for me to do an hour round trip and spend several hours away from my family at a mic. So, kids go to bed, I'm hanging out, I hop on Zoom and I'm, still get to go hang out with my wife and it's just still really convenient. And I'm going to do some more tonight, and it's helping writing because on Zoom, everyone's heard my jokes. I mean, I've worked on a lot of stuff and I'm always working on more stuff, but like, it's fun because now I got like about half an hour of stuff that worked on Zoom, get to play with the live and figure out what works. And live's harder. It's way harder to get laughs live. It just is way harder, but it's different too. But now I can go home, do 3 or 4 sets where I'm actually working on stories about things that happen at these live mics. So next time I go back to it, that same venue, I can say it in a way that's probably going to be better as long as I keep in mind the timing different and all those different things that are different from it. Like sitting right now, it's 100 degrees in here and I'm just drinking. But thanks for letting me hang out and talk. And I can talk forever, but I think it's really cool that we can still use this as a way to connect and meet wonderful people like Kelly, who's a different place in the world, and be able to communicate and do shows with. And I don't know, Chris or Ann, if you've been doing any Zooms or not, but if you feel like it, there's a lot of opportunity to sit around and stare at rectangles. And I've actually just liked to just hang out with people too, because I've missed the people that I've done them with. To do a show, we hang out for an hour, just bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you got that off your chest. And I from my point of view, Niko, I mean, and this is why I invited you very early on to be a regular on the show, is because I thought that what you were doing was really important. and I hope you don't get too distracted by all that noise. But I mean, so I'm encouraging. I mean, comics. Do you guys have any advice for Niko and dealing with this almost 10,000 people group now online?
Not advice, but man, it sounds like you're doing the good thing, and all you can do is give a warning for those sort of things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. For a guy like that, all you can do is warn people and let them take their, you know, for all the information I have, that's all I have to say, really.
Hey, Chris, on Zoom especially, don't assume gender.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I thought you said him.
All good, buddy. I appreciate it.
That's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Of course.
Well, and again, Niko, just keep doing what you're doing and come on anytime. And what I always like about your stories is you've been very honest about how you really didn't have much live experience before the pandemic. You grew up in comedy, if you will, on Zoom, and now you're kind of going back out, and your career is really sort of a metaphor for Zoom comedy, really, because what you're doing now started on Zoom and now it's live. So guys, give it up for Niko for coming on, sharing his stories. As always, we appreciate it. Thank you for coming. All right, you guys. So now we could just move on to the quiz for the entertainment for just us. This is the quiz show. We do have some people watching live, and so if you are watching live, you are welcome to take a guess at some of these quizzes. Now, what we do here on the show, it's a little bit different. I used to live in Japan, and one of the things that I loved about living there was that they have great comedy, and it comes out in the TV shows, and believe it or not, in the commercials. They've got really funny commercials. And so when I started doing comedy, I thought, well, there's got to be a way that I can incorporate that, and this is how I do it. I play the guests and the people watching commercials from Japan, and I stop them part of the way through, and then have you guys try to guess what the products or what it is that they're trying to advertise. And it can, so you could take serious guesses, you could take make stuff up. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to have fun with it, and that's the quiz show. So we start in order of, I go to the guests first. So Ann, Chris, Kelly, you guys get first stab at the answers, and then we'll go to the Facebook group. We have people watching, and they'll take guesses, and then we'll go to our regulars. And just a warning, the regulars are kind of ringers. Eric and Ed have seen a lot of these products, so they kind of and eventually guess. So let's do that. All right, so let's
give you guys a tip real quick. 70% chance it's canned coffee, usually. Every time.
So,
oh, wow. It's always the same guess.
Say that. Don't say that.
Hey, don't give away our advantage there, Eric. Come on.
All right. So let's start with the first commercial of the night. Starting now.
ごめん、いた。ボタンに紙が。え。
All right.
For sure, a cologne commercial, dude.
Very interesting cologne commercial. All right, Chris is in with a guess. He thinks it's for cologne, you guys. What else? Let's get some more guesses. Ann, what do you think it's a commercial for?
I'm trying to read the Japanese.
Don't.
I actually know. I lived in Japan. I studied Japanese, but I don't think it's helping. Shampoo.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I would say shampoo. It's
shampoo.
I can see
relevant.
that. I can see that. Yeah.
But you're right. I'm glad that you mentioned that. That makes you a little bit of a ringer, but I hope it's okay. I think in this case it's okay. Let's say, Kelly, what do you think this is a commercial for?
I was gonna say shampoo or like some kind of hair straightener or some kind of hair product.
It is not a. It has nothing to do with hair.
Yeah.
Sorry. It is.
Why would it? Why would it have anything to do with hair?
Yeah. It's really more about this scene.
Is it a jacket commercial? Is it for that sick jacket?
Is it a condom commercial?
I was gonna say first condom commercial.
I mean, you're getting a little warmer. It's kind of related to.
Is it a no means no commercial?
Oh man.
I was thinking consent of some kind.
Yeah. Just because she's stuck in your button doesn't make it okay.
Let's see. Let's go to the Facebook group, Facebook Live. Nobody wants to make a guess here. So let's go to Niko.
So you said it has to do a little bit with the scene. Is it for a motel chain?
Yeah.
Maybe by the hour. I don't know.
I'm laughing because yeah, there is this industry called love hotels, and typically high schoolers will go to them because they can't go to their own houses. So that's yeah, you're correct in the you know, sort of the overall theme, but no, it's not
That's
really
crazy.
for a
So
love
that
hotel.
exists. That's the real thing in Japan. That's crazy because I used to have a bit about that open market in America. You know, teenagers who don't have a house to go to.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
And in Japan, they call that love hotel.
Crazy.
Love hotel, which
when we're done getting this wrong, can Ann read us the thing if she knows how to read it, so we can know how off whatever this says, even in the language it is, how it doesn't.
I'll read it to you. Your hair got pulled, but don't run away. Is sort of.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
What's going on? Let's see, Eric, you've been kind of quiet. What's up, man? Must have a guess by now.
So I was gonna make a joke about Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask, but you know what? I didn't think anybody was gonna be nerdy enough to get that. Thank you for laughing. So I'm gonna guess. I think it's a deodorant commercial.
Deodorant. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys this is
wait. I get a guess, right?
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna guess it's for her bag.
Well, let me. What you say, fur bag?
Her bag. I said her. H-E-R.
The bag. Okay.
Yeah. Gee, gosh, I don't know what you're thinking. I know
what you were saying.
Something like that. Yeah.
It is not for that. Let me play a little bit more. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's start from the beginning, and then we'll play a little.
Get your head out of the coffee vending machine there, Tommy. Come on.
If this turns out to be canned coffee, I'm gonna freak out.
Let me play a little bit more.
いた。ボタンに紙が。え。
Oh.
What?
Oh, it's like an iPad kind of reader thing, digital reader device. I don't know.
Ann, what do you think? Now, do you have a change of your?
The bottom right, how can I say? It's like it's showing a title of this comic strip.
Right.
Yep.
But it's on the phone. So
yeah. So I think it's advertising. Yeah, the phone.
It's not for the phone. Think about
the case.
Think about no.
Did she pick his pocket? Did she rob that dude?
Is it like is it NTT Docomo or something like that?
Oh.
I'll give you guys a hint. We've seen this before, the regulars. So let me play it through.
Self-service?
Oh
yeah, I remember what that is. Yeah. It's like the manga reader, right?
Yeah, there we go. The manga reader.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
It's the manga.
Wow.
It's the manga reader. Yeah.
What?
This is a subscription manga on your phone. And you know, as you know, manga can be very romantic. And so
oh yeah, I totally knew that.
Erotica.
As you know, I said it so off the cuff.
Quicker. Yeah, I should have.
You guys are experts by now, Eric and Ann. You guys, all right. So let's see.
I love how he never includes me in that, which is fine. I'm not good.
Didn't you get roller coaster one time?
I'm sorry, Niko. You're right.
I'm proud of that one. That was
Niko's an expert too.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't leaving you out intentionally. All right. So next commercial starting now. All right, I'll stop it there. I'm worried that Ann probably already could have read it, but so I won't start with Ann.
Is it for a supermarket?
It is not for a supermarket, but you're kind of in the right zone. Kelly, what do you think?
I'm gonna go insurance company.
Insurance company.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Okay. Now, Ann, the kanji are really small now, so you probably can't read it, but maybe you can. I don't know. What do you think?
So you just gave me a hint that it is something to do with the products that
yes.
are on the counter. Because I was like, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with it. It looks like it's some sort of like a spray to get rid of odors or something.
Yes. It is the air freshener for your toilet.
Air freshener. Right.
That's right. Air freshener for your toilet. That's right.
You gave it a little bit away though, Tommy, because
I did give you it.
I'm like, oh, so it is something to do with the product. Yeah.
Well, it's I could do that. I could help you guys out a little bit here and there if I want. So I wanted to, So anyway, yeah. Let's move on. We got 2 more commercials to go. Let me see if I can find them. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, I went too far. Actually, it's right after this one. Okay, starting now.
Vitality. Priority. Minority. Smart.
I'm gonna stop it there. I have to stop it there, otherwise they're gonna. So there's a list of buzzwords here. Kelly, what are they advertising in this commercial?
I don't know what they're advertising in this scene specifically.
Yeah. Everyone's looking down at the glowing light.
Whoa. Yeah.
I feel like it's an app of some kind. I don't know if it's like a LinkedIn thing or a dating app though.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a work dating, like if they're all at work and they want to date.
Maybe it's LinkedIn dating.
LinkedIn dating. Yes. LinkedIn dating, getting into the LinkedIn dating business. Chris, what about you? What do you think?
It looks like it could. I mean, it's all under the desk and they're all looking and they're all trying to be like proud and happy and smart or whatever. Is it a male enhancement pill? I don't know.
Enhancement pill. Ann, what do you think?
I think it's the iced tea. It's an iced app and iced tea. I kind of saw it, but I also wanted.
Wow.
Where did they have it? I didn't even.
Yeah, it snuck up a little bit. I was like, they would only put that there.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you guys were going to catch that. Okay. Well, yeah, she's right.
I also want to say where you stop the video.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This looks like a diversity and inclusion page of a company. Like you have the white guy, the Asian guy, the black dude.
I'm just glad that Ann guessed what it was, because Eric and I would have been cheating. Because when we shot the commercial, we had to. There's a lot of work. I had to have my hair straightened, and Eric was.
Ed was a pill on set. Ed was a pill on set the whole time. Yeah.
Hey, it was in my writer.
You definitely didn't have enough cans of coffee on you.
I know. Very upsetting.
If you were wondering, they were trying to be clever. So these words: priority, smart tea. So they were trying to be clever, and I thought maybe you guys would pick on that, but you saw the tea, so there you go.
Good job, Ann.
Wow.
All right, we have one more commercial for you guys, and it's kind of at the very end, so it might cut off a little bit, but it's really funny. So let's just play it anyway. It is just, I just saw this and it made me laugh. So let's hopefully make you laugh too. All right, here we go. Last commercial of the evening. Starting after these Mercury. Here we go.
Come here, number 4. Open.
Whoa.
Made me laugh. I don't know. It's completely ridiculous. And I love how in this commercial they make a fake TSA and everything, This is what the Japanese think of us, right? That our TSA agents are very scary.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can figure out what it's a commercial for. Chris, what do you think?
I think it could be an airline commercial. Absolutely.
Is this your emotional support animal suitcase then?
Right. Yeah. Oh, this guy's a client. He's gonna go to a baseball game or something.
Yeah. Right. Everyone gets you get an emotional support animal.
Uh-huh.
Ann, what do you think it's a commercial for?
I think it's for, I don't know, some sort of like event, promoting an event.
Okay.
An event. I'm not sure. The Olympics. I'm just kidding.
Olympics. Kelly, what do you think it's a commercial for?
Could be like a fast food chain.
Yeah.
Fast food chain.
It could be a Chick-fil-A commercial for sure.
I'm gonna just give you guys the hint that really, once again, the product has nothing to do with the commercial, but so nothing from the Facebook crowd. Ed, what do you think?
I am gonna guess that it is trying to convince people that they should stay in Japan for their travels instead of going to the US.
Yeah.
Okay, public service announcement for that. Niko, let's go to you.
So it's obviously an ad for the CH-475. It is the top of line suitcase that could hold 470. And that's how they. It's not as big as a 675. It's a little bigger than a 227, but it does a good job.
Spoken like a man who sells technical products for a living.
I might.
Does it have to do with the fact that he's outside the other people in line? You know, he's kind of in his own space over there.
No, it has to do with, I think these characters mean something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know this. It's really more of a service than a product, or well, I don't know what you'd call it, but these chickens have some meaning. I don't know so well, but you'll see as we play along. Eric, what do you think? Did you recognize these chickens?
I don't, but so I'm looking at it in a more investigative way. Like, I think it's a PSA for a service. Like, you notice how everybody's in line and they're holding their luggage in their bags, but this guy's out of line and he's the only person using the thing that says bag drop off. Like, he's the smart guy, right? So I feel like it's like, hey, use this service bag drop off. It's way faster. You can smuggle chicken nuggets across borders way faster to do anything in this line. Yeah, so that's what I hope it's for.
All right, let me, I'm going to play it all the way through, and then maybe you guys can tell me what it's for. I mean, I wasn't familiar with it, but maybe some of you guys might know. Let's play it all the way through. This is what it is. RPGs.
Oh, it's for that game.
Smartphone RPG. I don't even know what this is. Do you guys know what this is?
Nah.
A video game?
I know, but what video? I mean, that character has something to do with the video.
It's not a documentary.
I don't know. These chickens, see, it says here.
Oh wow!
All these chickens are in the background, and then it says Sky Arena. What, I mean, something to do with chickens? I don't know.
They must be worth something in the game or something like that. It's an expensive commercial somebody made for that video game. That
Thank
was
you.
for sure. Yeah.
Spoken like a gamer. All right.
Not obviously a fly-by-night operation.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So we've come to the end here, and now is the time if I want to get some Ed and Eric and the regulars to promote what they want to promote. Guys, you want Niko? Anybody want to?
I actually do. I have some stuff. Right. Kelly, you go first. Go first.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm hosting an online comedy show on Sunday afternoon called Comedy Coffee. Tickets are free, available on Eventbrite. And we have a fabulous comedian from Montreal headlining. Monica Hamburg is headlining that show. So yeah, a good mix of folks. A nice little Sunday afternoon thing, 2 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Thank you. Ed, did you want to?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So next Saturday, I'm on this show. It's a Zoom show. Believe it or not, people are still making Zoom shows. It's the Relatively Happy Hour Comedy Online. Jeff Applebaum and Patrick McDermott producing it.
And Liz
Grant. Also has Liz Grant and Jan Karam. So that'll be fun. And then the next day, I'm actually at a live show. Leslie Lang's open house and I Love You tour. God, it's so small I can't even read the names off of it.
Cool.
That's a show.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean,
so PX, and Nicole Tran.
That's at the Improv, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And so I hope and Terry Dorsey will be there as also the other big name, actually, which is why he's near the top. So
Oh,
anyway,
All right.
so,
Well,
anyway,
I'm kudos at your preparation on that, and you got the you really put the slides together on that. I appreciate it. All right, Niko, you got anything to plug?
It's very exciting. You can see me at open mics when I go to
Hell yeah.
Washington next
Hell
week, anybody
yeah.
in Seattle,
Hell yeah.
Tacoma area. I'm gonna be doing some open mics. I'm still doing some online shows. We're doing VR shows. So Laugh Your Lukoff is my Instagram and my website. Then I post some VR shows and stuff like that. And I'll be zooming tonight. So no, but thanks for letting me talk.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, Eric, how about you? You have something to plug?
I do. First of all, I want to say shout out to Sharish. He's not here because he's celebrating his girlfriend's birthday, doing the good boyfriend thing. Sharish, miss you, homie. I haven't seen you for days. Second of all, I want to say Ed Ruben has the most beautiful headshot I've ever. I'm hella jealous, dude. Like, dude, that's great. And then the least important is if you live in the San Francisco Bay Area on August 9th, Monday, I'll be at man, I just forgot the name of the place. It's in North Beach. Oh man, Grant and Green. I think it's called Grant and Green.
That sounds right.
Yeah, my bad. Anyway, see, I'm not worth seeing anyway. So
Eric.
Oh, now don't say that, Eric.
Yeah,
don't say that.
But if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, I'll definitely, shoot out there. So hopefully I'll see you guys around.
All right.
And that was a great show, everybody. Also,
right.
condolences, Kelly, everybody. It was great meeting everybody. Had a heck of fun.
And Chris, you guys plugged before, but now's a chance. If you have anything else you can mention it.
August 21st, I'm actually going to be headlining Savage Henry Comedy Club. So if you're around, I need people to come out to that because I don't know if anybody's going to show up. So
what city is that?
Please come out. That's it. That's in Eureka, California.
Okay.
Yeah, Northern
Beautiful
California, way northern.
Beautiful
California.
up there. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great time.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, so sure. We have shows on Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th. The Saturday, August 7th is a free show on my rooftop. So you'll meet me and my dog.
Yay.
And then Thursday, you'll see me at the Ali Wong show as an audience member. Next Friday.
Make sure she points you out. All right.
Yeah.
Well, from me to you guys, it was great seeing everybody, and it's great. I'm doing this show every week is great.
Sorry, I gotta ask one final question. I'm sorry, Tommy. What's your cat's name, dude?
Oh, should I go? Where did he go? His name is so my kitty is 5-month-old domestic short hair. We just adopted him, and his name is Azuki, which I know it's Japanese. It means red bean. Oh, Ann knows what that is, of course. Azuki because Azuki is red beans, and his little paws, according to my kids, they look like little beans. So I decided to name him Azuki, and he'll come on the show at some point, and I'll show him to you guys. Now, speaking of which, we will be back August 13th at the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, and most importantly, Ed Ruben will be guest hosting.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll just be running the boards, and technically, because the reason why is because I won't have a chance to prepare. Because I got to take my son to see some colleges. He's going to be a senior next year, and this is that thing to do.
Congratulations!
So I'm going to be taking him on to see some colleges, so I won't have a chance to prepare. So Ed, I'm leaving it to you to do the show, and we'll see everybody back on August 13th. I think at this point, Ed, I think you know what to do with the music.
Nice
there we
job.
go. All
Sounds
right.
like fun.
Guys, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. That was
thanks
fun.
For watching, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in a couple weeks.
Everybody.
This was the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Good night, and sayonara, and buenas noches, and all these other words I know. All right, everybody. Cheers.